Welcome to the I-20 Sports Talk. I'm Leticia Gonzalez. Today, I talked to my dear friend Karina Ono. Karina went to the US in 2012 to play college tennis and study. She shared with us her experience, obstacles she had to face, and what she's up to now. I hope you enjoy it.
Hi, Lily. Thank you for the invitation. That's my pleasure being part of this new project that's coming up.
Thank you so much.
Tennis, huh?
Yeah. All right. So I guess the first question I have for you is, why did you decide to go to the US in the first place?
My first decision wasn't really from me. It was mostly my parents, mostly my dad kind of motivating me to go. At that time, I was starting to play some future tournaments. At the same time, I had to make a decision into academics, if I want to go to school or if I was going to try pro. And since the beginning, I've never wanted to just go to one thing. I've always wanted to do kind of both, because I never really trusted like that we could just choose for one thing and then be safe from it. So I don't know. I like my dad motivated me to go. He introduced me the opportunity, and then I was like, all right, that sounds good. I'll be doing both things. I've never traveled outside of the Brazil like before coming to the US. And I don't know, I started getting some offers as well. I think maybe that helped me on the decision. And of course, like my family like supported me, my friends at that time. Um, but yeah, I wasn't sure what I was gonna do.
That's very interesting, because I think most of the parents are kind of scared to let their kids like move to another country. And the fact that your parents was like, all right, maybe you should do this, it's very interesting to me. And after you
Yeah.
decided to go, how was the process of choosing the university?
So that is very stressful and tricky. At that time, I was very unfamiliar with, college experience worked at that time. I like, at least for Brazilians at that time, was very um, new. I would say not many people would go. It was very expensive. Um, so not many people had the opportunity to go. So choosing a school, it was really hard. Maybe like living in Brazil, it's tricky for you to believe on what people offers you. Um, so like I would receive offers from schools. Their facility was amazing, like hundreds and thousands of students, and I was just like, how is that possible? I think that's like a fake thing. Like I don't think they really offer you that. Like, and then all these schools would offer me mostly like full scholarships, right? Because of the NCAA. But but I didn't really believe, and then I denied like few offers at the beginning of my first year. So then after I started talking to more people and get to know a little bit more information, then I started realizing that yeah, that actually happens. That's normal. So then I started getting myself into choosing a school. Not only choosing a school, there's like a whole process of being eligible. Um, like how does your grades affect into the selection of your school as well can be key. And then at that time I suffered a little bit with English. Like I had no English at all at the time. I did not know how to speak English. I've never studied English in my life. As I want to speak English. For me it didn't matter. But yeah, I mean, after you kind of start shrinking down a little bit more your options, like selecting a little bit more, then you start choosing more like where would you feel yourself happier. I would say maybe I think that's very important in your decision.
Yeah, and you decided to go to a junior college, right, before transferring to a four-year university. And why was that?
Yeah, so um, yeah, so the junior college was because I didn't have English. So before you go, like one of the steps that you have to go through is taking two exams, the SAT exam and the TOEFL. Unfortunately, I did not pass like the minimum grades that the D1 schools would ask for. So one of the options is going to a junior college, do a couple of years there, build up your English, and then you would transfer whatever credit you have done in the junior college. So that was the main thing for me. Like it was coming to the US, no matter how, after I got myself convinced that I want to do that. And then I was like, I'm willing to sacrifice, 1 or 2 years learning English so then I can transfer to another school. So
Yeah, and I mean, you went to play tennis, and since it's a very individual sport, and the beauty I think about playing college sports is being on the team. So, what was the best part about that? What was the best part about being on a team? I hope you're enjoying this week's episode. Make sure to follow us at I20 Sports Talk on Instagram and subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcast, Spotify, or Anchor. Now, let's get back to it.
oh yeah, that's very nice. Yeah, so once in your life you get the experience to play in a team when you play college tennis. Because once you're a tennis player, you don't really get that opportunity. You kind of play you and you. Um, so that is great. Like I consider myself very lucky because since my junior college, I've built up like very strong relationships. Like I still talk to my coach from my junior college, and then some of the girls as well. So like nowadays are getting married. Some of them have kids already, and I still talk to them. I hope that someday we can all get together and
Yeah.
then just hang out and catch up a little bit. But yeah, the experience is great. Like you have a different feeling on court and off court. It's there's like a negative and a positive side of it. Like you feel pressure because you want to win, not just for you but because for the team. At the same time, you have somebody there to rely on, so
Yeah.
you feel that you're never alone on court. That it's like a family. You build up that people trust, and it's a friendship for life. It's very nice.
Yeah. So remind us, where did you go to college and then the university?
So my junior college was in Kansas. It's called Barton Community College. Very, very small town, very, very small school. And then I transferred after 2 years there. I graduated with my associate degree over there. And then I transferred to a school. It's actually a traditional Black school in Mississippi, in Jackson, and it's called Jackson State University.
And how was the process about from transferring the differences, I guess, from transferring from a junior college to a university?
So that was exciting. I did not expect much, but at the same time, I had big expectations from the school. I was leaving a junior college competition to go to a Division 1 school competition. That was kind of my dream to, coming through because I've always wanted to play D1. I don't know why, but maybe just because people would just say, like, tell you, like, hey, yeah, you gotta play D1, D1, but it doesn't really matter. Uh, but it was very tough at the beginning. Like my first year, I transferred during the spring, so in the spring semester is when tennis plays. So I barely got to the new university, and then we had matches already, and we played very, very good schools. I remember that first year we played probably like 30 matches in
Wow.
the whole semester. So it's kind of like it was non-stop. And I was like, whoa, 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 slow down, like, but it was great experience. Then that showed me that I should have done more, maybe like prepare myself better,
Mm.
because I kind of took for granted a little bit, like, oh yeah, I can just go and whatever play. But
Yeah. And what was the most memorable moment you have of playing college tennis?
Well, memorable. I mean, honestly, every match counts. Um, but I think one of the most important ones was in my junior college on my first year. I was actually the first international tennis player that they've ever brought to the school, and at that time, like I was sharp in tennis, and I was like playing a lot of tournaments, so I had the rhythm and everything. But then, don't ask me how, but like we could make two nationals, you know, and it was the first time in the whole history of that school. The team, like, imagine, like, it was a very local small school, so most of the team was made of like local people, so they did never had the experience of, you know, going to a bigger competition, traveling. Like, at that time we went to Tucson in Arizona, and I mean, it was a whole great experience. Like, I've never played a national tournament, even though it was a junior college one, but they were amazed. Like, the coach was, I don't think he ever believed that he made it, but that, I think that was the best experience that we ever had.
That's awesome. That's definitely memorable. And what would you do would you do something differently from this whole process?
No, nothing. Um, Nothing differently, like, on that. I think I would do it all over again
Yeah.
if I could. And I don't regret at all. Like, actually, I I don't know. I feel I feel thankful for that, you know, like grateful for it. That I didn't fear, you know, because I have friends that fear that and be like, oh, I don't want to leave my parents, or I don't want to leave home. But I don't. Like, I think it was a good experience, and I would do it all over again.
Nice. And what advice would you give someone that wants to go or that are starting their journey now?
Uh, Well, I would say gold, you know? I mean, if you're open to try, it's not gonna be easy, I can tell you that, but it's worth it. It's worth the try. It's worth the lessons that you learn. Those are things that nobody can teach you and nobody can take away from you. The fact that we play and we qualify for the national tournament, that's just a little bit of the experience that I had. But I mean, if I if I'm gonna tell you all the experience I've ever had, we're gonna be sitting here for the whole, I don't know, for the whole day. I can sit here and talk and talk and talk. Just go, like, and don't look back. You know, just go and look for what you have right now. It's a good experience, a great experience. Not everybody have that chance to go. So if you do have, just go for it. You know, and if it doesn't work, come back and restart.
Definitely. All right. And the last question I have, I guess, it's the question that we all want to know. What are you up to now? Like, where are you and what are you doing of your life, you know?
So that's crazy though. Right now I'm currently doing my master's, um, my master's in business administration. And with that, I'm a graduate assistant as well for the tennis team. So I assist the head coach with the men's and women's tennis team for a NAIA school in Florida, and I love it. You know, I don't know how, but I lean a little bit more towards coaching instead of playing. I love what I do, and I expect that I can do that as part of my career. You know, I want to maybe get into college coaching. It's a beautiful career. I love it. It's just so much fun. So I deal with a lot of those questions, like, oh, coach, I'm not sure if I want to go. You know, I'm gonna leave my parents. And I'm just like, look, I've been at your place, you know, and then I took it, and I don't regret. But unfortunately, we can advise and we can suggest as much as we can, but at the end of the day, it's your decision, you know. So
Yeah.
yes.
And you don't pretend coming back to Brazil anytime soon.
Well, as of right now, not in my plans. I recently got married here, so
Mm.
we're looking forward to, maybe spend some more time here, build up a little bit more. And then who knows, I mean, Brazil, I love Brazil. It's my back home. It's where I call it home. But like life happened, we just gotta keep taking the opportunities that you face day to day. Who knows, maybe in like a few years.
Yeah, who knows? All right, thank you so much for, well, coming today and taking the time to talk to me a little bit about college tennis and your journey to the United States. And thank you so much.
That's my pleasure, Lele. I wish you all the best on this new journey. Thank you for the invitation once again, and we'll talk soon.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right.
How great was that? I really hope you enjoyed this week's episode. There's so many more stories to come, so make sure to subscribe to this channel. Next week, Leon Rioli will be sharing his journey to the US. Ciao, hasta luego, adios, bye.